there's clearly something there. We want to be able to continue to work with them and progress and develop and win, and that's how you get better. You only get better by going out there and playing, especially at that position. So this will be a huge test for any quarterback going on the road in Tampa with what they're able to do, how well they're coached schematically, but also the players that they have, the pressure packages, the disguises that they're able to have, and as many turnovers as they've been able to create.
In this decision, what was the balance between what gives you the best chance to win Sunday versus what's best for Will's progression as a quarterback?
I just think of everything we're doing, we're trying to do in the best interest of the football team, and that's today. And then again, what happens in the future, I can't control. I'm focused on today and the decision, at that position.
When you look at the way Will has performed, I mean, the arm talent is obvious, and yes, the mistakes are there, but it does not appear that the moment is too big for him. And how much of it is that?
Again, those are things that we'll continue to coach, and he's played 2 games, and again, this is. I think some of those things are accurate, Corey, about just the ability to handle the operation, and which is critical in some of those situations, and as it relates to the disguise and getting in the right call and command and all those things. But you have to, at the end of the day, you got to make plays, you got to deliver the football to the guy that's open and make great decisions.
Seen his teammates kind of embrace him in this role these last 2 weeks since he took over?
I think our team is gonna, they're gonna play hard for, anybody that's out there in any position, and so again, we got to protect the quarterback. That doesn't matter who it is. Our ability to stay balanced and run the football and play better defense, take care of the football, start creating some turnovers. And hopefully that'll lead to wins.
Beyond maybe the football-specific stuff, what have you seen Will do to carry himself as a leader, as a quarterback inside the building?
That goes for every position on this football team. Your ability to know what to do your job, to help the guys that are out there with you or next to you, whether that's an offensive lineman. That's how, again, there's no restrictions on leadership. We've said that from day one. If a young guy can come in there at any position and show that they, know what to do, and communicate and play hard and help the team, then that's a great sign of leadership.
In terms of trying to protect Will, what does the offensive line situation look like in light of Nick's injury?
The same thing it was 5 minutes ago, Terry, when I said that it'll be a work in progress throughout the week. So that hasn't changed since I made that statement. But I'll keep you updated as it goes. Yeah.
How surprised have you been with how Will has played these 2 games and where he is at as a rookie?
I don't want to say surprised. Again, he missed some time, some quality time against some, great opportunities to get good practice reps in training camp and playing, those games. And so, I think the ability to be able to miss some of those reps, those speed reps, somewhat live reps in practice, and then, live reps in the game. Start the season and continue to understand what we're doing and then take advantage of his opportunity. So that's all we try to do with every position here is coach every single one of them and hope that we get them to a point where they're ready when they get an opportunity, they take advantage of it.
Seeing him out there in that live action over the last couple of weeks, did you learn anything new about Levis?
It's been 2 games. It's been 2 games, so I do think that there's been good, good pocket presence, and again his ability to move the offense, and again we've got to be better on third down. Our third down isn't where it needs to be by any stretch, and make sure now as we move forward against a really good red zone defense, that we're tightening things up and that we're staying efficient. Like we talked about coming out of Pittsburgh when we did have positive gains, that's going to be critical.
Obviously, this wasn't where you were with Will even 2 months ago. What exactly has changed between then and now? What maybe have you seen from him behind the scenes or in these 2 games of action? And is this decision as much a function of where the team is in this season as it is Will's progression?
Well, it's where we are today. It's all we can focus on is where we're at today. Trying to get back in here after a couple days off after a disappointing loss, and that's the I think being able to evaluate him in game circumstances and just kind of what led to the decision.
One game at a time mindset, but how much you feel like you're kind of in a now or never situation?
I try not to look too far ahead. It's a long season. We got to focus on today. We got to focus on, getting back into this thing, get an understanding of what and who Tampa is in all 3 phases, and everything else will, take care of itself. Every game is critical. Every day is critical. I can't worry about something that's may or may not happen in the future. He's in protocol, and we'll keep you updated. I don't think wouldn't say that he'd be available this week based on just where he's at right now.
What about Chris Hubbard?
Chris will be out there. I think he's got to go through some full practices to where then he can be evaluated after that. But he's at that stage where he can practice.
Encourage maybe what you saw from Kyle Phillips as he kind of tries to get a little bit of a groove.
Yeah, he was huge there at the end of the first half and ran some nice routes and was able to get out of bounds and be available and not get be able to get out into the route. So it was good. It was really good.
Mike, did you feel like it was important to have some clarity at the quarterback position, to go ahead and tell the team to where this wasn't something that lingered?
I felt, again, I make decisions, Gentry. I don't know if they're always the right ones, but I try to be decisive in the decisions that we make. But I also try to, be as honest as always with the team, and just wanted to just let them know so that everybody was on the same page moving forward. And it took about 30 seconds, and then it was Tampa Bay preparation and everything that we feel like we need to do.
When was that conversation with the team?
Our team meeting started at 10, so sometime thereafter.
And just to be clear, Ryan is fully healthy and able to play, correct?
I wouldn't say that, but he's working his way back from a high ankle sprain.
When you look at you've had a few days to look back at your run defense, specifically against Pittsburgh. Was it, setting the edge, holding your zone, or were guys just getting handled up?
Well, we misfit some runs. It's all of those, Corey. If you could ask me a specific one, I would tell you they blocked us. We didn't fit it very well. We gave up an edge, right? It's not just one thing, right? That's where the breakdown occurs. It's where you get the double-digit runs and creases or edge.
Of the issues you've had, though, that with the personnel you've got, that would appear to be one of the more correctable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're used to playing good run defense around here. So just making sure that we're very conscious that just because maybe a team hadn't run it doesn't mean that they're not going to try, especially when you're in split safety defense and some scheme runs that we'll have to adjust to and be better and fit them. Some they can't hand the ball off on the 10-yard line and walk into the end zone. I know that. Like that can't happen.
You guys have found really all your success this season at home and struggled on the road a little bit. It's
Well, we've lost 4 games by 1 score.
Right.
You know, I mean, we laid a turd against Cleveland. I mean, point blank. And so go ahead. I apologize for interrupting.
I agree, it's not as simple as that, but is there anything to the difficulty of playing on the road, factoring
Well, just
in?
handling the road environment. You know, we went down there and turned the ball over in New Orleans, had as many false starts as humanly possible. I mean, we ran out of guys to jump. But I think handling the road environment is critical, so that you're not late on a snap count. You know, I thought that had improved, you know, in Pittsburgh. Didn't win the game. But again, it's, you know, knowing the center and being able to mix up silent cadence on 3rd down or when we're in the gun, so that we're coming off on the football and the defensive line isn't, you know, creating a new line of scrimmage. You know, receivers running off the football, you know, getting open quicker. You know, so there's some things that you have to do on the road, you know, and then take care of the ball and turn it over. You know, so again, we've been close, and that's not anywhere near good enough, but just been competitive at times.
Anticipate having Roger and Sean good to go for Sunday?
Yeah, Sean won't practice today. I don't, you know, so we'll see where he is at the end of the week, but Roger should be good to go.
Christian's responded the last couple of weeks after a couple of rough games early in the season. Seems
Yeah,
like
I mean, keep battling and competing, and, you know, it hasn't been perfect, but, you know, I feel like he's really he again, I know the corner's first job is to cover the guy and make sure that his man doesn't catch the ball in man coverage or match coverage, and then being able to break on the football in zone. But been impressed with the way he's tackled and replaced. I mean, it's been probably the best from Christian that I can remember. I think he feels stronger physically. I can remember a couple in Atlanta, you know, I mean, where he's, you know, stepping up there and replacing and fitting and running his feet, and, you know, pretty impressive. So it's a tough job playing corner in this league with the rules, you know, and so you just keep challenging and keep, you know, showing back up and competing.
Couple more?
When you look at Baker Mayfield, is getting your hands up as important as
Well, it's
anything?
not that simple. You know, it's not that simple. He's had him, but he's also got great arm talent. He can throw the football to all parts of the field. He's elusive. He's got a good knack for avoiding a rush. There have been some times where he's ducked under sacks and got away. You know, kind of steps up in a pocket and gives some ground. And, you know, with the play action pass, it's going to be critical that, you know, that we're able to somehow affect the timing of that. That's such a large part of what they do. And so, yeah, I mean, he's had passes batted, but you can't just stand there at the line of scrimmage hoping to jump up and you know, bat one of the passes. I don't think that's necessarily the action that we want either.
Coming off a Thursday night game, it's commonly referred to as the mini bye. I know you don't get a lot of extra practice out of it necessarily, but are you able to do some of the same self-scout things or reset in any way with your team, given those extra couple days?
Just trying to focus, I think. Yeah, I mean, we all just try to do a little reflection. And again, my focus is sometimes maybe about what we didn't do or about what's going to happen. And so for me personally, I'm focused on, you know, what I can do today to help our football team, what I can do today to coach our team, make sure that they're ready. And I ask them to do the same thing. You know, let's not worry about things that could or couldn't happen. Spend too much time worrying about that. But also take a look at what has happened and ask why and try to figure out, you know, what it was and is it correctable. You know, and then at some point in time we got to move on and we got to, you know, get better today.
You guys did something in that was part of your direct message to them at 10 o'clock this morning?
Well, sometimes it's how I feel, you know, and I think that, and again, having been in those seats, you know, again, I think for another year I'll have played longer than I've coached. But sometimes the message is about how I feel, and trying to figure that out, you know, and not how I feel, but what do I need, and trying to translate that, and trying to have a pulse of the football team. And you know, we've had some guys that are here that have won football games, and that, you know, that want to win and have won and are gonna win. So just making sure that we're not worried about anything that's gonna, you know, we're in this position. Had a little bit of time off. Let's get back. Let's get healthy, figure out who we've got, and find out how to go on the road and win a game.
Dylan's had some struggles, but is he playing his best football for you now when given the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dylan's just been very versatile. You know, he popped in there, you know, wherever you need him, you know, whether that's guard or tackle, and some of that versatility. You know, he's a smart player, and you know, when Dylan plays square and he plays with his feet underneath him and not off balance, it's, you know, been very effective.
Is there a scenario in which you consider
I
giving-
guarantee you, yes, there could be some scenario that you guys could all come up with. Not to cut you off, but I promise you we can make some scenario for whatever is about to come out of here.
you consider giving Skaronski a chance on the outside at all, or is he a guy that you want to continue to develop inside no matter what?
I just think that Peter can continue to focus and be a really, really good guard for us at this point in time. But there's, I'm sure, a scenario that could come out after today that may make that a possibility.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.